Aaron needs help understanding just how much money he can borrow to buy a business. Let's find out.
I'm David C. Barnett, and you're tuned in to Small Business and Deal Making, the podcast, YouTube channel, and blog where I talk about buying, selling, financing, and managing small and medium sized businesses while controlling risk. So, if you're looking to take control of your future through buying a business one day, or if you already own a business and you're looking to grow or exit, you've come to the right place. I talk about interesting things, I talk to interesting people, and I answer your questions every week right here. So be sure to hit like and be sure to hit subscribe, and let's get to it.
Awesome. So I got this question submitted via email from Aaron S., who says, how do I determine what amount of money a bank will lend me? It's kind of a chicken and egg thing. The bank wants to see the business of interest before commenting, and as a searcher, I need to get a feel for the size, for the amount of money that may be available to understand my target business size. Well, Aaron, you didn't mention where you're located because this is an important part of this question. Because for people that are in the United States, for example, the SBA program changes the rules dramatically for anyone that's anywhere else in the world. And and also in the United States, if you're going to borrow in what they call a conventional fashion, then it's another set of rules again. So I'm not going to tell you how much money you can borrow to buy a business. Instead, I'm going to tell you about how you find out the answer, because I want to make a video that will last, the test of time, and it will be available to people in the future then and help them figure it out. So, number one, um, there's lots of people talking about stuff like this. So even on my own channel, I've had interviews with people like Lisa Forrest, who is an SBA lender, who came last year and again here in 2023 to talk about uh, the SBA loan program. I've talked with other people before where we've had examples of different deal sizes. Inside Business Buyer Advantage, I have examples of how businesses are financed. And here's what you want to do as someone who is looking to buy a business. You want to consume that content because you have to be current, because the rules change over time. Number two, the lenders have informational websites where they talk about these different programs. And so you can go to the Small Business Administration website, you can learn about the 7A loan, you can see what their policies are. And remember that the banks are going to have their individual policies as well on top of the SBA program guidelines. In Canada, Industry Canada runs the Small Business Finance Act program, which the big banks will use. And then in Canada as well, we have BDC, which is a Crown owned bank that will do um, more sort of cash flow finance kind of loans, but they also have some good express loans, which are entirely driven off of credit score. Okay. And so all of the information from all of those different programs are all on their websites. It's all out there for you to take a look at. Um, as far as the bank won't comment until you have a deal to show them, of course, they won't comment until you have a deal to show them, because they're getting inundated all the time by people who are asking them questions like this. So, what you need to do is just make your best guess about what seems reasonable. And then here's the critical part: make sure that the business you're looking at is a good business, that it is a profitable business. Then you make an offer subject to financing. Okay. Make the offer. Now you've got something to come and show the bankers. You bring it to the banker, and the banker will tell you, yes, I'll do this. No, I won't do this. This is what I would do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We would do this under these conditions. We'll do this if the seller note is subordinated to us and deferred or put on a standby, right? They'll give you that feedback. Now, there are people who run an end run around the banker's objection to not commenting unless you have a deal. You want to hear how they do it? They have a relationship with certain bankers. I know, right? See, here's the secret about bankers. Um, Bankers don't lend money. I mean, everyone thinks that a banker is someone at the bank who makes a decision about whether you're going to get a loan or not. That's not what they do. Maybe they did that 50 years ago, but today they don't. Today, bankers that you meet, commercial bankers, small business bankers, etc., they're salespeople. Their job is to get a deal flow going of loan applications that they can then bring in to underwriting and have the loans approved because they're trying to lend out a certain amount of money every year, make a certain number of loans so that they can meet their target and get their bonus. They're salespeople. Okay. So salespeople want to hit their targets. And so if you have a relationship with them and they feel that investing some time with you is going to yield a result, so if you can impress upon a banker that you are qualified as a searcher and that you are serious, because 9 out of 10 searchers don't do deals. I don't know where that stat came from. I'm just making it up. Um, but there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people out there commenting on videos, talking to people, attending conferences who will never buy a business, right? And so you can imagine a lot of these bankers have had a lot of conversations that haven't led to anywhere. But if you can demonstrate that you are qualified, capable, willing, and you can execute a deal and then manage a business, then they're going to be more inclined to open a dialogue with you, and some of them have even made systems around this. So I mentioned Lisa before. Her and her team, they do a weekly session where people can just drop in and like ask questions and bounce ideas off of them. And they've done that specifically for people that are in this kind of situation with these broad questions, like what's reasonable, how much can I borrow? Now, here's here's the other big thing is you're coming at this from the point of wanting to understand what's available as far as a business acquisition loan. The vast majority of small business acquisitions are not done with business acquisition loans. Okay. Uh, a lot of the conversation online in the small, medium sized business space is about, commercial acquisition loans from banks or SBA loans or what have you. Um, but that's the people that are talking. That's the people having the conversations. That's the people out here promoting themselves, trying to get publicity. The reason why a banker might want to come on my YouTube channel and do a video and answer my questions and answer your questions is because they're trying to build their own deal flow, right? The vast majority of small business transactions are done without business acquisition financing. They're done with other sources of financing that are usually personal in nature. So the searcher is using retirement funds, home equity. They're using maybe equity they have in a whole life insurance policy, like the ones that Mark Willis does, the channel sponsor. Um, they're going to raise funds from other people. They're going to, use personal lines of credit. They're going to use credit cards or something like that. Like they're going to piece together other stuff. In fact, during the summer of 2022, I did a whole summer series called the Summer of Alternative Financing, where I just talked about all of these different non-bank methods of raising money to do an acquisition deal. Um, and this really gets highlighted to me when I talk with some of the lawyers that I talk to who do, sort of real Main Street business acquisition deals. And very few of them are done with the bank financing. They're people are borrowing against their house, borrowing against their savings, using their own cash, etc. So there's ample information out there to learn about what may be possible. But here's the thing: don't let the availability of financing hold you back. All right, Aaron, find a deal that makes sense, find a deal that looks good, find a deal where you can make what you believe is a reasonable down payment and still have further money in reserve for after the deal so that you're not with your back against the wall. Make an offer subject to financing, then bring that deal to a lender. What may happen is you may be declined. You may be told, no, this deal won't work, or no, this deal will only work under these conditions, etc. It is perfectly normal for somebody to go have a signed LOI or an offer, go to a lender, be told, no, this deal won't work this way. You need to make these changes, and then come back to the seller and do another round of negotiations once the lender has had a chance to give their input. That's perfectly okay. So make an offer, get a deal, bring it to a lender, and see what they say. Anyway, hope that helps, man. For anyone out there who wants to know more about how to buy a business in a risk-controlled way, head over to Business Buyer Advantage. There's a brief intro video there. I talk about all the different things that I do. I talk about my online course, Business Buyer Advantage, the coaching program that you can join if you want more of my help on a regular basis, and about the one-on-one consulting work that I do when I work with buyers. And with that, I'll say see you later, and we'll exit with a message from this year's channel sponsor. Special thanks go out to today's video sponsor, Mark Willis of Lake Growth Financial. Mark helps people better manage their personal wealth and business finances through the Bank on Yourself insurance strategy. This is something I've done personally and I've gotten lots of positive feedback from people I've worked with over the years. Go to newbankingsolution.com to find a playlist of all the interviews I've done with Mark and to learn more about the advantages of these programs. While there, sign up to arrange a conversation about what this solution might look like for you. So, how can you learn more about buying, selling, financing, and managing small and medium-sized businesses? Easy. Head over to my blog site at davidcbarnett.com. You'll find hundreds of articles and videos, all for free. You'll find links to my books and online courses, and you can sign up for my email list and get emails covering topics that interest you and be notified of new videos.